So capitalism is losing favor among Americans, with only 54% viewing it positively, a 6% drop from just 2021. Meanwhile, 49% of young Americans have a positive view of socialism, despite its history of failed experiments worldwide. It's our problem with education. Fox Business anchor David Asman is exposing the once prosperous countries that turned into economic disasters. David, you covered this with the Wall Street Journal, and now it's coming back. Socialism's coming back.
Well, I saw a lot of socialist experiments in Latin America, and the results weren't pretty. Watch.
If Americans want to see how badly socialism works, they don't have to go far. Beginning with Cuba's Fidel Castro in 1959, socialism has a dismal history of failure throughout this hemisphere. While socialist revolutionaries came to power by focusing on real problems of poverty and corruption, they often hid their goal of completely taking over the economy. Here's Fidel Castro on Meet the Press right after his 1959 revolution.
I am not communism. I am not agree with communism.
That was a lie. In short order, Castro wiped out all opposition, socialized the entire economy, and forced Cuba's once vigorous business community to escape en masse to Miami.
He did effectuate equality. He effectuated equality of misery, equality of repression, equality of poverty.
Data from 2023 indicated that extreme poverty in Cuba had reached 88% and is likely worse now. A similar pattern of events followed in other Latin countries. Venezuela, once blessed with huge oil reserves and a vibrant middle class, saw a major reversal of fortune under Fidel's socialist buddy Hugo Chavez. For years, Venezuelans have been living with hyperinflation, which peaked at 63,000% in 2018 and is now down to a still miserable 225%.
They took away our private property. They destroyed our industry through price controls, through regulations, through high taxation. And they turned what should be really one of the world's richest countries into one of the world's poorest.
But there was a kind of equality that came to pass in these countries. Everyone except the party elite became equally poor.
It's important to note, by the way, that the economic figures for Cuba and Venezuela are estimates because these countries are not at all transparent with their data. But it is probably at least as bad as what was suggested in that report.
Do you think why do you think socialism seems to be resonating, for example, for young people in New York City? What aren't they getting that you know?
You started it. You said it's education. I mean, they have not been educated. When you go down there to these socialist experiments, whether it's Cuba, Nicaragua, I've been to them all, Venezuela, Bolivia, I went to every one of those countries, and it was just abject failure, abject poverty. I mean, I know that there were some good people like Martin Luther King, who was in favor of certain democratic socialism, as Mamdani calls it, but they didn't experience. They didn't go down there and see for their own eyes what was happening. There was a while where Cuba was defended by the Soviet Union and funded. 60% of their GDP came from the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union died, they lost all that money, and 88% of the Cuban people are living in extreme poverty because of that system.
And these leaders are sin because they lie. You pointed out 1959, Fidel Castro says, I don't like communism.
I am not a communist.
Flat out lying.
Yeah.
And Mamdani says, I'm not a communist.
Well, one could look at that example. I don't know if he is or he isn't, but the point is we've heard that before. And when you go to socialism, even the democratic socialists in Sweden and elsewhere were voted out of office because it didn't work there. Soft socialism doesn't work, and hard socialism works very bad.
David, where do we see more of this?
We're going to see next week, we're going to be talking about some of those other experiments in Europe, the socialism light experiments, which a lot of people say that's what Mamdani wants, that's what he represents. And frankly, those don't work either.
On FBN.
On FBN, and we'll be playing it here as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, David Asman. And I'm not saying that just because it was in the prompter. I really meant it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.